shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to sports talk.
Late in this game.
Yes, given his struggle skipping the postseason, because he's never really been the postseason pitcher that he's been in the regular season. Over a 4-year stretch, he won 3 Cy Youngs. He was National League MVP.
Yep.
But that success in the regular season has never really carried over for him in the postseason. And if you want to talk about mirror, Skip, the baseball pitcher and the quarterback in football, they mirror because you got the ball in your hand. And you really get to determine wins or losses, more so than any other player, because you control it. Skip, the only reason he was in this game was because the name on the back of the jersey was Kershaw. Because Dave Roberts overlooked the analytics. And he said he went with his gut. But Skip, if someone would have told Dave Roberts at the beginning of the year, Dave, you're going to win 106 games, and you're going to need 6 outs to go back to the NLCS. Okay, I take that. All he had to do was go to his bullpen. His bullpen was healthy, Skip. Turn it into a bullpen ball game. He had an opportunity to go to Kalari, who was the lefty matchup.
That's what happened when you get greedy. You seen an opportunity like we had a game in hand. Let's go to Kershaw. When you have a fresh bullpen and you pay a lot of money for Jensen to be your closer, you go to him. You go to your fresh arms. Kershaw's a good pitcher, but you see in the playoffs, he haven't been that good, that consistent. He's up and down when it comes to the playoffs. He's a good pitcher in the regular season, but he'll never carry on into the playoffs. He's up and down. He got in the game because that name on the back of his jersey. You have a fresh bullpen. You go to them. That's what happens when you get greedy and it backfires on you. People have confidence against Kershaw in the playoffs because they know he's an up and down pitcher when it comes to the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, he's a good pitcher. But in the playoffs, he don't do too much. He has some spurts in the playoffs, then he has some when he give up runs, like last night. You had a fresh bullpen, and you had a closer that could get the job done in Jensen, and you went to Kershaw. That's that greediness that caught up with you. You go to that closer or one of your fresh arms to get the job done. No, I want to go to Kershaw, and look what happened. They gained confidence and had 2 home runs off of him. Now they going home, watching the Nationals play the Cardinals.
Soto, he had struck him out twice, grounded him out. Didn't do that. He had Baez who was working. Madonna struck out.
You could do 10.
Yeah,
Seriously.
The options.
Why, Skip, why not? If you need to go pitcher for pitcher,
Yep.
you need 6 outs. If you need 5 pitchers to get those 6 out, so be it. Okay. But do not put Clayton Kershaw in there, given his history. He did. He overlooked the analytics, which he had been using all year, and went with his gut because I trusted the guy. Why? He's giving you no reason. In a regular season, Skip, okay, I got no problem with it. That's Clayton Kershaw in the regular season. They said before last, he had never given up back-to-back home runs in the regular season.
Never.
But this is the second time in the postseason. You see, Skip, there's a difference between postseason and regular season, and that's why we weight quarterbacks differently compared to the regular season to the postseason. Baseball players are the same way. If you look at the regular season, Madison Bumgarner can't hold a candle to that guy. But if you look at the postseason, that guy can't hold a candle to Madison Bumgarner. You look at Josh Beckett, remember the Marlins?
Do I?
And the best case example was Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson had everything. Cy Young could do it all. But it wasn't until he went to the Diamondbacks and had that postseason for the postseason. Not only did he win the game, he came and he got the save.
He also got to feed off Kurt Schilling for the first time in his career.
Skip, if this is a situation, and we go back to 2001 when the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees. If you get a hit off Mo Rivera, Mo Rivera is the greatest closer ever, the greatest postseason closer ever. If you hit him, Skip, I can live with it. But Clayton Kershaw, given his struggles in the postseason, there's no way he should have been left in that ball game. Dave Roberts, he messed. He messed this one up, and he cost his team. And Clayton Kershaw is not getting over this, Skip. And I've said this, and I've talked to guys that's been in very similar situations. You remember the losses way more and way longer than you remember the wins. He's never getting over this.
Yep. So speaking of managers, once upon a time, great old manager named Leo DeRocher once said, "Nice guys finish last." Clayton Kershaw might be as nice a guy who has ever put on a baseball uniform. I've been around him a little bit, enough to know he's a really good young man. He's now 31 years of age.
Right.
There's just nothing wrong with him off the field. Good family man, great teammate. Dave Roberts loves him like a son. And he's done so much for that franchise in the regular season. As you say, 3 Cy Youngs with a career ERA of 2.44 that balloons to 4.43 in the postseason. Wow. He's not that guy. I always tell you what I love about playoffs in any sport is you get to see what everybody's really made of when it really matters.
Yes.
When the pressure is highest, the stakes are highest. Are you that guy or not that guy? He's not that guy. But Dave Roberts feels like I owe him. He's done so much. He's my second best pitcher on this team. Yeah, in the regular season, which brings me to Walker Buehler of Vanderbilt University, which is not only the best school in America, but the best baseball school in America.
Right.
National championships. Walker Buehler was really good at Vanderbilt, which is why the Dodgers took him in the first round. And he has elevated himself in 3 years to the best pitcher on the staff because he's a horse. He's got killer instinct, and they know it, top to bottom. Everybody sitting in that bullpen knows the best pitcher on this entire staff is Walker Buehler. It's why Dave Roberts was forced to say, game one, who started game one? Walker Buehler. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go old school on you, and even though baseball is often stuck in its past, in one way it's way in the present, and that's in analytics, because I grew up, my favorite player was Bob Gibson. I hope the kids out there look up Bob Gibson because our man Nelly, Mr. St. Louis, he got me a signed baseball from Bob Gibson, and it's my most cherished possession.
Really?
Yes, I have it on display in my bedroom. A signed baseball by Bob Gibson. Let me just educate the kids real quick. Bob Gibson pitched in 3 World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals through the 60s. 64 against the Yankees, then 67 Red Sox, 68 Tigers. And what did Bob Gibson do? He pitched games 2, 5, and 7 against the Yankees, and he was the MVP of the series. And he pitched 8 innings, then 10 innings, then 9 innings. And then against Boston, he pitched 9 innings, 9 innings, and 9 innings. And then against Mickey Lolich and the Tigers, he went 9 innings, and 9 innings, and 9 innings. That's extinct now.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
If you have Walker Buehler, you just say, he's our guy, and we're going to sink or swim with that guy, because I think you're going to swim with him.
Right.
So last night when he started to get in a little trouble in the 7th, no. If it's Bob Gibson in the great old days of baseball, it doesn't matter that he's on his way to a career high 117 pitches. Who cares? Now everybody's Tommy John haunted, where they say, oh my God, once you get to 120, your arm's going to fall off. Right. No, it's not. You don't.
Guys should pitch 130, 150.
150. Yeah. Just let him finish the game. I would have bet, not my life, but a lot of money. If you let Walker Buehler finish that game with a 3-1 lead at that point, he will win that game for you. He will get it home.
But Skip, even if you don't let him finish, Skip, your bullpen has been great.
It's obvious, but Clayton Kershaw is your guy. Like, you got to give him a chance.
I understand that's your guy, your high-paid pitcher. Don't get me wrong, Kershaw is one of the best pitchers in MLB right now. But when you have a history of not doing good in the playoffs, you don't take that risk. I get it who he is. You gamble and it didn't pay off. And have y'all on the couch now. And then you put a reliever in a tough spot. It was over. Washington had the confidence. Oh, we back in the game now. And they just start scoring after that. They put up 7 points in the 8th inning. We could have seen that confidence after the home runs they hit off of Kershaw. and they seen it. And they pounced on it and took it and just ran with it. Now they got a chance to play in the next round. I get it who he is, but when you know that history in the playoffs, that he don't do so well, you don't take that gamble. That's what happened when you took that gamble and it caused your team. It's just like you can't put everyone in a position like that. And you put your reliever in a tough spot. You have a good bullpen, you go to them and let them finish that game. Because Washington couldn't do nothing through the first and 7 innings. It was 3-0 the whole game. And you risked it. Because you looking like I got Kershaw. He probably could finish it off. He didn't. He gave it up. A chance to go back to the next round. It's like you can't take that risk and you tuck it. He's up and down the playoffs. You don't take that gamble, but you wanted to. That's a mistake on you, Roberts. Because you looked at who he was. I'm going to throw him in there. And look what happened.
But why? Think about this.
I give him a chance in game 1 against the Cardinals.
Yeah, okay, I got you. And he was rested. So you say, does he melt down in the traditional way of he can't find the plate? No. He finds the plate. In fact, he finds the middle of the plate.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
So last night, Clayton Kershaw threw a grand total of 6 pitches. This all happened in 6 pitches. Yikes. And the first 3 were strikes because he strikes out, like to end, I can't remember what the last hitter was. Adam Eaton. So he strikes him out to end the 7th.
Right.
Then he comes out and he throws 2 pitches to Rendon and then 1 more pitch, and you know what happened to that.
Yep.
So in the 3 pitches he threw in the 8th inning, 2 of them are in the bleachers, right?
Yes.
Well, he gets so careful in the postseason. The demons are screaming in the back of his subconscious. Mm-hmm. So he's just like trying to get as careful as he can. I don't want to throw a ball. I want to throw it over the plate. And he has lost some velocity.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
On his fastball. Because now his fastball's 89 and his curveball's 89 or slider or whatever you want to call it.
He used to be mid-90s.
Yeah, he did.
I think we're saying the same thing. You say leave Walker Buehler in there, but we both agree Kershaw shouldn't have been in there.
Why would you put him in harm's way? Why would you subject him to disaster?
Right.
Because this is all-time disaster.
Right.
This is a team that is a shoe-in to go to the World Series to represent the National League.
Skip, the thing is that baseball has become so specialized now. You got guys that all they do is face lefties. They're a left-handed pitcher. All you do is face lefties.
Yeah.
You get a righty-righty matchup. Okay, you've got that set up. Your bullpen is perfectly fine. Skip, you got 6 outs.
Yep.
All you need is 6 outs. Why would you Skip, you've used analytics all year. Why in the most crucial of times would you go and deviate from that? That's what I want to know, Dave. Why now? I get it. Skip, and this is why you can never fall in love with a player because you
fall in love. That's what happened.
No. Clayton, I love you. But in this situation right here, I'm going match up. If I have to empty my bullpen, Skip, I'm going to do that. And if I lose it, say, look, guys, I put it in the bullpens and we lost it. But I'm not Skip. Nobody thought that was a good idea. No. One person thought it was a good idea, and I guess that's the only person that mattered, and that was the manager. And it cost him. It cost him this series.
This is the guy that Dave Roberts watched go 21-5, 21-3, 18-4. Yeah. And he also knows he has just been a disaster in the postseason.
Yeah. Do you actually think Coach Belichick would have trotted Adam Vinatieri out to kick those game-winning Super Bowls had he not done what he done in the AFC Championship game or the AFC Divisionals, had he not made that kick in the snowstorm? Because you don't. No,
that's true.
You trust him. Okay. You've seen what this guy done in the postseason, and you put him in the biggest spot again.
my heart is bleeding for this guy because Clayton Kershaw is so classy. He stood right there after the game. A lot of guys would have ducked, or a lot of guys would have given curt, short, defensive answers for about a minute and then said, that's all I got, and walked away. He stood there for as long as anybody wanted, and he just took it because he's a really good guy. And sometimes good guys aren't the right way to go in the postseason.
Yeah. That's what Peyton Manning had to overcome.
Peyton had the reputation for a long time as Mr. Regular Season.
All those MVPs.
Yeah.
And he had no postseason. He was getting blanked by the Jets, 41-0. Getting hammered in the It wasn't until he and he had to go through Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That was fitting. He had to beat the guy that had beaten him so many times to keep him from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He got through that guy, and so it changed the narrative. But Clayton Kershaw, why it hurts so much, Skip, he sees his age going this way and his opportunities going that way. And that's not a good mix. But Dave Roberts, you talking about put it on you, but trust me, when he laid his head down early this morning, Skip, he didn't sleep. There's no way Dave Roberts got a wink of sleep.
But they were so good in the regular season. It's 106 games. There's no way he's going to get fired over this.
No.
Because they're loaded. They'll come back next year and they'll win 106 more.
And they might have Cody Bellinger might be the NL MVP.
I feel so bad for Kershaw.
Yeah, you have to. It's just...
Everything people say is true right now about the postseason. I understand that. Nothing I could do about it. It is a terrible feeling. Just stood there and took it. Nothing you do. The MLB playoffs do continue tonight with another win or go home game as the Rays take on the Astros on FS1 at 6 Eastern. The winner will face the Yankees in the ALCS.
Hello, Yankees.
Yeah, they had their way with the Twins, and